Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the McShin Foundation's award-winning podcast, Get in the Herd. I am your host, Justin Bognar, and as you can see, we are at a different location than normal. This is the shot of my desk. You've seen it before, but since I'm the host and the producer at the same time today, this is the view you get. So with me today, I have JP.
How you doing?
He calls himself JP. His name is James.
Yes.
James, how are you?
I'm doing great, man.
Fantastic.
Great to be here,
We've
Justin.
actually been talking all day about some pretty interesting stuff. I just met him. I think I met you like a week ago?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. He is hanging out with me all day today, and we've kind of been talking about recovery and cool stuff that recovery has to offer, and basically what it's like to get your life back
Pretty awesome.
after a bout with active addiction, which kind of sucks. Not the getting your life part back part that it starts out fun, and it does, but then it becomes very quickly becomes a nightmare. Yeah. So where are you originally from, JP?
I grew up in a military family, so I'm from a little of everywhere. But since I was about 12 years old, I'm in the state of Virginia.
Fantastic. And what branch of the military were you in?
I was in the Air Force.
Air Force.
Yes.
Okay. And you served in Afghanistan, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, thank you for your service.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
So you've been at McShin now for how long?
A little over a week.
Little over a week. Okay. What and you've done like a clinical detox before?
I have, yes.
Okay. You like it better here?
Oh man. I hated it there. So to say I like it better here is an understatement.
What did you what's the big difference that you found from a clinical standpoint to a peer-to-peer?
Well, for me, it was just I just really felt like they didn't really understand what I was going through. Like, yeah, they understood like the physical withdrawals I was having, but they didn't really understand the mental aspect that comes along with long years of using. And this so far, I can say, has been absolutely totally different here. They deal with those aspects, the mental aspects, the emotional aspects, the trauma that comes with years of using,
right?
Which I've really found life-changing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know. For me, when I was using, it was like I said before, it was fun, but it very quickly turned into a nightmare. And like I made a statement earlier that I've heard used a lot, and like I told you before, I don't know if I heard it, in the rooms, or if I just heard somebody say it. But the statement, you never have to use again.
Yeah, that was awesome when you said that. That really hit home with me.
And like I told you before, when I first heard that, I didn't quite know what it meant. Hadn't really wrapped my head around it. But what you do is you put emphasis on the word "have to use again."
Right.
Words. When you say it like you never have to use again.
Right.
Any recovering addict can make the choice to use again. But if you're a recovering addict, you don't have to use again. And that was one of the things, that was the biggest thing that makes, active addiction such a nightmare, is the fact that you have to use again
every single day.
You have
multiple times. Yeah.
And it's like we were talking about earlier. It's the chase that I don't miss at all. It's calling this person, calling that person, waiting on this person, trying to find money for this, just
A full-time job doesn't really even begin to explain what addiction is. It's a
no,
full-time job. It's your life.
it's an absolute full-time job. You can't do anything unless you have what you need.
Yeah.
And the messed up part is you don't even necessarily need it. We tell ourselves that we can stop. We constantly, at least I did.
Hundreds of times.
I
Hundreds of
told
times.
myself time and time again, oh, I can stop. I can stop. It's no problem. I'll just one more time. And then, when I'm feeling good,
Right.
oh, I can stop. This is no problem. I'm fine. See,
Yeah.
I'm fine. And then the minute that starts wearing off, it's like,
Not so fine anymore. Yeah.
I don't know if I can do this. And then, dialing up those numbers and trying to figure it all out again.
Begging friends for money.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah. Stealing money.
Right.
That's and that's the thing, man. Like I've said, I've read in the literature that we hurt the ones we love the most.
No, that's absolutely true.
And it's absolutely true. And that's one of the things that I regret the most is the fact that
Still
there were people
to
this day, and I don't think I'll ever not regret that. And the people that loved me the most, the people that still love me, I did things to them that at one point in my life, I would have never dreamed of doing
to your worst enemy, let alone the ones you love.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that some of those people have still stuck around. Yes, Teresa, I'm talking about you. I love you very much. And I am sorry. I am so sorry for everything I did to you. I I basically ruined my relationship. And we do
All
that.
of them.
Yeah, all of them. All of them. But we and we don't realize what we're doing when we do it because it's not really us doing it. It's whatever substance we have in our body doing it, which makes it even worse because we're not in control of ourselves. So you let me see, you where'd you say you were from again?
Virginia, here, Culpeper.
Where before that though?
Oh, I was born in Florida.
You were born in Florida.
But like I said, I was adopted, and my dad was in the Army.
That's
so
right.
we went all over the place for my younger years, and then settled in Virginia. And I think I was 11 or 12.
Yeah. So when you get out of the intensive program, you are planning on going into sober living.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fantastic. I can't even say words properly. Fantastic.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah. I think that it's extremely important. I see a lot of people come in and they get through the 28-day program and they say, oh, I'm recovered.
Right. I'm healed.
I'm fine.
Hallelujah.
No, you are not. Not by a long shot. 28 days is enough to basically stop having withdrawals. It's enough to kind of get into a habit of not using every day. It's enough to barely get started.
It's a good base.
It's a good base.
It's a good foundation.
Sober living is really what I consider, and I may be alone on this, I consider sober living the real meat and potatoes of what we do at McShin. And the reason I say that is because, when we get into recovery, when we first decide that, okay, I need to stop using, I have a problem, I need help. We get into recovery and we live in a bubble, when we're, going through the intensive program. And it's designed that way, it's designed to, basically
shelter us from some of the
Exactly.
pitfalls
Yeah,
and
shelter me.
stresses of the outside real
Which you
life.
need,
Yeah,
which you need.
yeah,
I know when I detoxed this last time, I went to Tucker's for 7 days.
yeah.
So basically, I had to lock myself in a
In a
mental
room,
institution.
right?
No phone, no TV, no nothing like that. Just
Yeah,
puzzles and blocks and stuff like that.
right.
Which I knew I needed that. It sucked, but I knew I needed it.
Hmm.
But the overall goal is to learn how to live a real life, an actual productive, normal life
Without drugs,
without the use of drugs or alcohol,
right?
you know? And you can't do that necessarily when you're being completely sheltered.
Yeah,
You don't get that exposure.
right,
Sober living, though, man, you get a lot of freedom,
right.
a lot of freedom. And it can be scary at times because you're like, man, I don't have to be, in groups all day.
Hmm.
I don't, there's still several requirements.
Right.
There's still a curfew. You are still required to, find a pathway to recovery.
Yeah,
You still are required to attend meetings.
yeah,
But it's not like you have people watching you when you go smoke a cigarette.
right.
You know, it's not like you have to be up at the church every day.
All day,
All day.
right?
And then you go home and you have your house leader that is monitoring every move you make,
Hmm.
and you have a TV, you have your phone.
Right.
Um, I never went through the intensive program. I went straight into sober living both times. So I cannot relate to, I can respect those who have been through or who are currently going through the intensive program, but I can't relate to it because I never did it.
Right.
Um, but I know that, if I had come in, still high or in the middle of a detox, that's right where I would have gone.
Hmm.
And I knew that for me personally, I needed to be in sober living.
Right.
That's where I needed to start. Because, I needed to I needed to go through because I was done. I was done using. There was no, this is still kind of fun. I'm still enjoying myself.
Right.
It had just gotten to the point where I had ruined everything
Right.
and I was ready to
You're miserable.
stop. I was
Miserable.
miserable. I
Yeah.
was absolutely
I know the feeling.
miserable.
Yeah.
Um, and I wanted to get my life back on track. I wanted to get things back. I wanted to get myself straight again,
Hmm.
but I knew I had to get over that hump of the detox.
Right.
I knew that once I was able to get past the detox and get past the withdrawals and get past all that, that I could finally be able to focus on myself. I just knew that I couldn't do it by myself,
Right. Yeah.
So my path was Tucker's and then here. Locked myself in Tucker's for a week, detoxed, and then I came straight here. And don't get it twisted. I felt like shit when I got here. I mean, I
Yeah.
felt like absolute shit. Um, but I knew that it was only a matter of time before I started feeling better.
Right.
I still had the urge to use for sure, but I knew I didn't have to use.
Right.
I wasn't sick. I just felt shitty.
And there's definitely a big difference between the urge to use and having to use,
Oh
like you
yeah.
talked about. I
Oh
mean,
yeah. My cord is wrapped up under my chair. There's a huge difference between those two things. And that's what the 28-day program is designed to do, is to get you over that hump.
right.
You know. Um,
With me, it's a little different since I came here from incarceration. I actually have 7 months clean. Um, but I definitely understand what you're saying. I couldn't have just come here fresh from using and gone straight into the sober living. That there's no way that would have worked.
right.
Yeah, that
Right.
would have never worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the things, On a side note, I've very much enjoyed our conversation
Oh,
today.
me too, man. I
We
really
have
appreciate
talked
it.
about, I mean, me and this guy kind of hit it off, and we talked about a whole lot of stuff. And luckily, I'm his recovery coach.
Right. Works out
So,
great.
yeah, we're going to have some pretty awesome sessions. I mean, this guy came with me to buy a huge TV today.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I forget where I was going with that. Damn it. No, I was going to say, one of the things that we talked about earlier, but we talked about so much earlier,
Right.
and that's how these conversations go. Sometimes you can relate to the other person so much that you just start talking about this and that and this, and just everything ends up coming
Right.
out.
Little diarrhea of the mouth
Oh
sometimes.
yeah, oh yeah, and it happens really quickly too.
Well, I mean, if I may, I think
Yeah,
that a lot of what helped me today was just the fact that, uh, you know, I was able to really talk to someone who really, I don't want to say understands, but can empathize and has been at least in a very similar place in their
for
life.
sure.
And, for me, at least me personally, that's big. I'm not a big guy who like I'm not going to tell a welder how to weld something if I've never welded,
Right, right.
and so for me having a peer-to-peer recovery is that person really gets what I'm going through. And uh that for me personally is just absolutely huge.
Hmm.
Huge.
Uh, I agree with you 100%. It was. I can't imagine trying to. I'll say trying to recover any other way.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I've tried other ways and they
yeah,
didn't work.
I'm fortunate enough to where I haven't tried other ways.
Yeah.
This is the only thing. This is the only recovery life that I've been exposed to,
Right.
and there is nothing. Uh, in fact, Jesse has a quote on his wall in his
Mhm.
office. I forget exactly what it says, but something to the effect of like, there's no more powerful weapon against addiction than one addict helping another,
Yeah.
or something. It's something to that
Along
effect.
those lines, right.
But you're exactly right, man, and that's why this peer to peer model works so well. Is because, yeah, I mean, you can't, and it's easy to try to put yourself in someone else's shoes, and it's easy to try to understand, where they've come from. But if you've never actually been there yourself, there's just that little tiny part that you can only understand if you've been there, you
Absolutely.
know
Yeah.
um and that's not to say that, you know we give all the credit to those who have, been on the other side, and we give all the credit to, those that know how to kind of deal with what we're going through,
Right.
essentially, if that makes any sense. Um but that's why we have so much trouble doing this alone, because I like we talked earlier, like, I'm the first person in my family to ever have substance use disorder,
Right.
you know? Um, and without, without other people who also have substance use disorder, somebody's knocking on my door. Isn't that fantastic? Um,
Bring them on the show.
yeah, yeah, right. Um, without being able to directly relate, to directly talk to someone else who has been there, yeah, it's tough to try to articulate exactly what's going on.
Right.
It's tough to, and it's by no means is it the fault of the other person.
Right.
It's our fault.
Right. Yeah.
It's us not being able to really explain what's going on.
Well, I think it's almost human nature. Uh, like I said, I can't. You can tell me how it feels to win a Super Bowl,
Yeah,
and you can, try to explain the emotions and the joy that comes with that.
right.
But I'll never truly understand that unless I were to win a Super
Unless you were
Bowl.
to win a Super Bowl, right?
And
Yeah,
I think that goes uh, just the same for addicts. Like, my mother is amazing, and but she can't really understand what this like because she's not an addict,
Right.
you know?
Um, my mom and dad are the same exact way. They knew nothing of addiction. They didn't know what substance use disorder was. Um, to them, it was just a matter of, well, just stop.
Yeah, just don't do that
Just
anymore.
don't do that anymore. That's
Yeah.
stupid. You're killing yourself.
My
You
dad
know.
always used to say, We're just not gonna do it anymore."
Yeah. Yeah.
And God, I really wish it was that easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
But for me at least, it was definitely not that easy.
And like it's crazy because like the more so I'll talk about my girlfriend for a second.
Right.
Um, the more she was exposed to my using habits,
Right.
um, she tried everything. She did everything that she possibly could. Um, and she tried her hardest. Um, but there was this, I think she finally got to a point where she was just like, you need more help than I can give you,
Right.
you know? Um, and she's a big part of, she's a big reason that, I went to recovery this
Right.
time. Because I had totally destroyed our relationship, you know. I had all but ruined it.
Yeah.
And it sucked because like not only had I ruined, the obviously the best relationship I've ever had, but like I had also ruined a friendship because we had also been friends for
Years.
years.
You told me, yeah.
Yeah.
Since you were young. Yeah.
Since we were really young,
Yeah.
we used to go out and party together,
Right.
Um, and I to think that I had ruined that was absolutely devastating. And
Mm.
I remember when I picked up the phone and I called my dad to come pick me up, it was because so before I went to Tucker's, I was not not on purpose detoxing by myself. I
Right.
had just basically run out of money and
And
run out of
couldn't get anyone
energy.
else to borrow money from or give you money or
Exactly. And
trick into doing
I
something
was
for you.
just I had been laying in bed for days,
Right.
staring at the ceiling, waiting for the day to be over so the next hellish day could come,
Right.
you know. And she was still working, she was still supporting me. She was still doing everything for me,
Right.
And I will never forget that.
And you probably should never forget
No,
that.
no. And she had come up from a break, from work, and we got into some stupid little argument, and I remember it being over something small, but I said something because I was going through such heavy withdrawals, something really shitty. I'm
Yeah.
sure I don't remember exactly what it was, but she
Probably
started.
wasn't good.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it wasn't good at all. But she started crying and went back to work.
Mm.
And I was like, what the hell am I doing? Why I need to stop doing this. I need to stop doing everything that I'm doing. And I don't know, like to this day, like a year and some change later, I don't know if that had happened, if I would have picked up the phone and made the call,
Oh, you mean if it hadn't have happened?
if it hadn't have happened,
Right.
I may not have.
That was your rock bottom, is what you're saying.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
my absolute rock bottom. That was the worst. Just because somebody that I love so much, I hurt them to the point where
They didn't even want to be around you.
yeah, they didn't even want to be around me, and we were never like that.
Right.
We were never like that. But because of my actions and the things that, anyways, but on a lighter note, here we are, a year and some change later, and everything is on the rise. Everything is on the up and up. We still fight here and there. It's not.
I mean, that's pretty normal.
Yeah, it's very normal. But I still continue to work on myself, and I'm still trying to change certain things about me that I don't necessarily like about me,
Right.
But there's a foundation there that would never have happened had we not been through all the experiences that we've been through. Like the foundation that her and I have is, I mean, it's indescribable,
Right.
And I don't mean to take up all the time talking about my girlfriend.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you. She's pretty great. It sounds like so.
She's freaking awesome. She's probably my favorite person right now.
Even besides me.
Well, it's between her and my mom and dad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say those are my three favorite people in the world: her, my mom, my dad. But that's the cool thing about getting clean and taking your life back and taking control of your life again, is the fact that you can plan for the future. You can plan for, like we were talking about earlier,
the vacations. Yeah.
Like we're trying to plan a vacation right now, and it's like the first thing on my mind wasn't shit, I need to stock up for like the first thing on my mind was, sweet, where are we gonna go? Like, what are we gonna do? Like, I don't have to worry about being high the whole time, and that's
or cutting it short because you've ran out, or whatever,
or like starting to go through withdrawals and knowing that I have 2 days left of vacation. Like, nah, I don't have to worry about that anymore. I can just like literally worry about, okay, well, do I have enough money on this credit card to take care of all this and
to go putt? Normal adult things. That's something else.
That's
something else we talked about. Normal adult things that normal people do.
Exactly. And not to say that we're not normal, because I mean, addicts are people just like everyone else. We're normal. We're normal people. We just have, our brains are just wired. Something's twisted. Something's twisted. And I'm glad that I'm the only person in my
immediate
family, extended family, that really struggles with this. Because I wouldn't wish this on anyone. This sucks. This sucks. It's something that we have to deal with every single day
for the rest of our lives.
There's no cure for this. It's something we have to work on constantly. And the minute we let our guard down, because intrusive thoughts are going to happen. They're going to happen all the time. Every time I'm bored, the same thought comes up. Well, shit, I could get one in me, and
no one would know.
But I have to be aware of that. I have to be aware of that, and I have to know that that's going to happen. That it's going to be something I think about.
What are some of your tricks to help? I guess defend against that.
So, like I told you, me and my girl wake up early and go to the gym. I absolutely love doing that with her. It's the most exciting part of
pinnacle of
my day. It's a pinnacle of the day. I guess you could say it's not really a trick. I just know what's at stake.
You know what you have to lose.
I know what I have to lose.
Okay.
I have things now that I would not have had I continued using.
And you won't have if you started again.
Won't have if I start using again.
That's good.
Everything that I have right now will go away very quickly, almost overnight. If I decide to use, if I decide to drink a non-alcoholic beer, that right there could trigger me. Exactly. Matter of fact, I'll talk about my girlfriend again. We were out to dinner a while ago. This was a long time ago. Well, I don't know, 6, 7 months ago, maybe. But I was sitting in the restaurant and I was looking at the beer and I saw that they had,
The non-alcoholic.
non-alcoholic, yeah,
O'Doul's.
O'Doul's.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if
Oh,
there's actually any alcohol in O'Doul's. And I asked the waitress, I was like, is there any alcohol at all? Because I really wanted a
right.
beer,
Just the taste of it.
just the taste of a
Yeah.
beer. And then she looked at me and she was just like, uh-oh. She was like, you're having cravings and that's not good.
Mm.
And I was like, shit, you're absolutely right.
She realized it and you didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And that's what that's what having like a solid network and a solid foundation means, that you can have those people that look out for you,
Right.
Um, and she definitely looks out for me. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But yeah, like, you have to be constantly aware that like things like that are going to come up. And if when things like that come up, like I said, I know what I have to lose,
Yeah.
and I don't want to lose
What's at stake?
any of it. Yeah.
What's actually at stake?
And everything is at stake. I mean,
Like I heard John when he was talking, just like, this is really life and death. Like this is life and death. In the downstairs room, there's all the collages of the ones we lost to addiction. There's got to be 500 names on those boards.
isn't that crazy?
At least 500 names.
Yeah. Yeah. I forget what the statistic is. Somebody dies like what is it, like every like 30
Couple
seconds
minutes
to a
or yeah,
minute.
yeah.
It's something ridiculous, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, man, like things are so easy to access now.
Oh man, it's
So easy to
everywhere.
access. I
It's
mean,
absolutely everywhere.
shit, I can go to a gas station and I can buy weed and kratom now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I can buy as much as I want, beer. Shit, I can go to a gas station and buy liquor now.
I mean, there's you can get heroin, fentanyl in almost every drug corner in the city.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
excuse me, every street corner.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's literally it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere and it's staring us in the face. But getting back to what I was saying about sober living, I know I kind of veered off topic there, but sober living is really, like I was saying, it's the meat and potatoes of what we do here at McShin, because you do have those boundaries
Right.
that are put on you, and you have to learn how to live with a house full of other men.
Right.
You have to learn how to use 1 to 2 bathrooms. You have to learn how to share, basically, and
Right.
how to coexist, essentially. But you get a lot of freedom. During the day, you can go where you want.
Mhm.
You can do the things that you need to do to get yourself on your feet.
Right.
You got to pay rent.
Yeah.
Got
to go shopping for
you
your
got
own
to go
food.
shopping for your own food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we talked about that earlier.
Yeah. And those are things that a lot of addicts don't know how to do, just
Right.
because they've never had to.
Right.
But you learn all those essential life skills, and
Mhm.
you do it in an environment with other people that are in the same boat as you. So you're
Right.
all kind of learning together, but at your own pace, but you're still held accountable.
Yeah.
You still have to pass random drug tests,
Right.
show
up to meetings on
up to
time.
meetings on time. If you can't find a ride somewhere, you have to figure something out. You have
Right.
to walk, ride a bike, whatever.
Make it work.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's how the real world works. You can't get a job and then call them on your first day and say, well, I don't have a ride.
Right. They're probably
Well,
not
have
gonna
you
go
heard
for-
of Uber?
Yeah.
Like, they don't, that's not how it works. But, that's really what we're trying to do here is get people to the point, get recovering addicts to the point where
Productive members of society.
productive members of society, they can move on, they can get their own place, they can learn to live a normal life without the use of mood or mind altering substances, as it were. And that's, like I said before, man, like I can't imagine there being a better way to do this than the peer-to-peer model.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't think for like again, for me personally, I don't think anything else did work or would work
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm definitely a firm believer in, you know, you got to show me what to do, and you can't show me what to do
Right.
unless you've done it.
Right.
So,
Um, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take a little short commercial break.
okay,
Um, we're going to come back and probably wrap up the show. We got about another 10-15 minutes before we wrap things up, but I want
sounds
to take
great.
a commercial break first. So yeah, we'll be right back.
Here at McShin, we believe in the McShin way, which is authentic recovery support service providers, people with lived experience, bringing that experience to those who need that lived experience in recovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in many things to support our mission. We believe in women empowerment.
What I love most about what we believe here at McShin is we believe in the authenticity of the peer-to-peer approach.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in giving people opportunity.
Here at McShin, we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person.
At the McShin Foundation, we believe in helping people reach their full potential.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in multiple pathways to recovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in placing principles before personalities to help spread hope.
Here at McShin, we believe that recovery is possible and that any person seeking recovery can become a more acceptable, responsible, and productive member of society.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in self-discovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in saving lives and offering second chances.
Here at McShin, we believe you can do this.
Here at McShin Foundation, we believe that we can only keep what we have by giving away, which is why we continue to help others like us seek and find recovery.
And we're back. Yeah, I've definitely got to make up a new commercial.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who out there is watching now has seen John Shinholzer recently, but
he's lost a little weight.
He has lost a lot of weight. That man looks really good. He looks very healthy.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've talked about quite a few things. One of the things that I like talking about on these podcasts is what it means for me to be. So, okay. So we all know McShin is, nonprofit. The people that work here, we work here because we love working here.
Right.
We're here because we love being here. And for me, I've been working here for almost a year now. And I love what we do here. I absolutely love what we do here.
And you can tell.
Yeah, you can really tell.
Are not here for the money.
Right.
Yeah.
It's for me. And I think I told you this on the car ride to Walmart.
Yeah.
Is that for me it's given me a sense of purpose, a sense of, doing something that I truly believe in, and that brings me, well, I guess a sense of purpose is really what it can be summed up as.
Right.
I think what we do is extremely important. And I see, like Aaron, when I first met him, Cricket actually brought him up to me.
Right.
And he made a special trip up here, and he was like, "Hey, this is Aaron. He just got out, and he's watched every single one of the podcasts on the tablets. He's watched Breaking the Bondage of Addiction.
Yeah.
And that's why he's here." And Aaron has turned out to be a really cool guy.
Great guy.
Yeah, I
Great
love
guy.
that dude. He's and I had the honor of being his recovery coach.
Right.
And that, Nathan says all the time that, yes, we all have specific job titles here, and there's things that we were hired to do.
Right.
But first and foremost, we're here to help other humans,
right.
essentially. And that's why one of the things that I value about this job is the ability to come face to face with so many awesome human beings, and do that whole peer-to-peer thing and talk and just talk. That's honestly, that's one of the highlights of this job, is seeing the looks on people's faces, and just the amount of hope they have in their hearts, after, when they collect that first 30-day tag, then they get their 60-day tag and their 90-day tag. And it's just like, you being in this role, you watch so many people, come in looking one way, acting one way,
and leave totally different.
And leave completely different people, and it's, one of the things that, Matt Connor said on that commercial was, "Here at McShin, we believe in self-discovery."
Yeah.
And that's a very true statement. Because when we're using, man, we know who we think we are.
Right.
But we don't know who we really are at all. I can honestly say from a year ago that this version of Justin is the best version that has ever existed, period.
You're living your best life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legitimately living my best life. And the only way that I could do that is by being completely, abstinent from everything, mood, mind altering substances. That's not to say that, if you, use MAT and stuff like that, like,
choose your pathway that works for you.
Choose your path. Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody's recovery looks different.
Right.
There's a lot of old school, guys that say, "Oh, you have to be completely clean. You have to not use anything." And I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I was on the fence with it for a while.
Right.
And I know I'm kind of veering off, but I think this is something that's also kind of important. I was on the fence for a while with MAT because I have experienced a lot of people that are, using MAT as just a way to legally get high.
Of course.
And
but what about the ones that really need that?
Right. There are people that, it's either MAT or a needle, one of the two.
Exactly.
And if you need, I'll be the first one to say it. If you need MAT, if MAT keeps, fentanyl keeps heroin out of your body,
right, then
by all means,
we'll take it.
Yeah. Use it. Do what you have to do. Do what your doctor recommends you do.
Right.
If it's another thing, if you're, well, we won't even get into that.
Right.
Because that's a whole different podcast.
Yeah. Maybe next week. Tune in next week.
Tune in next week. Yeah, exactly. But like I said, for a while I was very anti MAT. But that's because I've never had to be on MAT.
Right.
You know, I've never had to, be on Suboxone or anything like that.
Right.
When I detoxed, I stopped
cold turkey.
Yeah, and it sucked.
Does it?
Yeah.
Try it in a jail cell. That's really fun.
Yeah. No thanks. No thanks. Like I said, I've never been. The longest I've been in jail is a night.
Right.
I've gotten very lucky.
Very fortunate.
Yeah. But that wasn't even for. I mean, I think I was coming down from doing some meth earlier, but that was it.
Yeah.
It was no big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah. So again, MAT, if that's what you need to keep yourself, on the, I'll say straight and narrow,
right.
then do what you got to do.
Keeping a needle out of your arm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You take a win where you can get a win, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, one of the, one of the things that they say in some pathways is, you have to do this, and it's very rigid, and must get a sponsor, and you must do step work, and if you don't do this and that and the other, then blah,
you almost get shunned a little
bit.
Yeah,
and the year is 2022, folks. You know, like
get with the program.
Get with the program.
A program, whichever one's works best for you.
and I've been working on myself a lot, and I attend meetings, not as often as I'd like to, but I do attend meetings. I get tired, I get tired.
I understand that.
And when I get home at night, I want to stay there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, being at this job, being in this field, I feel like I'm in a meeting damn near all day.
We had a long meeting today.
Me, you, and Aaron.
6-hour long meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
But I live and breathe and talk about recovery all day, every day, and I'm first off, I'm staying clean.
Right.
I'm definitely working on myself. I'm trying to change old habits. I'm trying to recognize when I'm wrong and admit it.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it is. It is, because we don't like being wrong. We do not like being wrong at all. Well, we don't like admitting that we're wrong.
Right.
Let's say that. But that's, those are the things that you learn. Those are the things that you learn. And those are the things that really, my friend Joey, he, I made the comment a while ago. I was like, man, I got 9 months clean. He was like, you've got 9 months clean and sober, but do you really have 9 months like in recovery?
Right.
And I thought about what he said, and I was like, you're kind of right. I haven't really been working on myself a whole lot.
Right.
I've just kind of been staying clean and just kind of going through the motions.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's a whole different story. And I know I'm kind of bouncing all over the place, but
that's what we do.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I think to kind of bring it all to a close, this recovery is something that you can't just think that, oh, I'm here at a facility and they're giving me drug tests, and I go to meetings 3 or 4 times a week, and I have a sponsor and I do step work, so I'm gonna recover and be clean, and I'm gonna change. Life is gonna. You have to want this.
Right.
You have to want to change. You can't. I don't even know how to explain it properly, but like something else we were talking about earlier, you got to really want this.
Yeah.
You have to really want this.
It's not easy.
No, it's not easy
not
at
easy.
all. It's not easy at all. And it's a constant, it seems like it's a constant uphill battle, honestly. And it does get easier.
Well, I mean, think about it. The odds are not in our favor.
No, they're not
The
in our favor
odds
at all.
are not in our favor.
They're not in our favor at all. They're and that's the thing, if we try to, I guess, fight this by ourselves and we'll lose every time,
for sure,
every single time, but that's why we don't have to, because we have our herd that we stay in. And if you stray from that herd, chances are,
you're going to get eaten.
You're going to get eaten. Yeah. Exactly.
Safety in the herd. That's
I like
great.
I like the way you put things.
Yeah.
I like that. Stray from the herd, you'll get eaten.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's like our strength comes from, other people like us, our support network. Our strength comes from anybody that is willing to support us.
Yeah.
Anybody that is willing to, addict or not, anybody that's willing to say, yes, I'm on your side. And if you really want this, I'm going to help you get it.
Yeah.
That's where our true strength comes from. We've had a crazy all over the place talk.
It's been a great day.
Yeah, it has been a good day.
Yeah.
Haven't gotten a single video done, haven't shot any footage, haven't installed anything.
But you know what else? Haven't taken any drink, haven't put anything in our body, haven't shot up. So it's been a great day.
It's been a fantastic day. Yeah. And now I get to go home, and I get to see my lovely girlfriend, and of course she's not off until 6.
Yeah, well.
So, but what are you gonna do? But yeah, and then so tomorrow is Care Talks, which that's going to be live in person, which we haven't done for a while. But that is Honesty and John's thing. And since it is Women's Month, they are going to have several women speakers. I know Carol is speaking, John's wife. I know Christina is speaking. She is one of our AmeriCorps representatives here. I forget who else is speaking just because I'm not good at remembering certain things.
Yeah.
But that's going to be cool. It's going to be live. I'm going to be live streaming it, but it is going to be in person. Honesty Liller is going to be doing a book signing, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
She just can't. By the way, if you haven't gotten that book, get it and read it. It's a hell of a read.
Okay.
It's a quick read, but it's awesome.
What's the name of that book?
Scattered Pink.
Scattered Pink.
Yeah, Scattered Pink, and it's it's not thick. It's like I said, it's a quick read, but it's a quick read because it locks you in. Like you can't put it down.
Right.
It's a really good book. But yeah, it gets kind of emotional too.
Right.
So Honesty will be doing a book signing tomorrow. Before Care Talks, before the speakers actually come on stage. But I will be live streaming that, and that'll be on McShin's Facebook page, Care Talks Facebook page, and McShin's YouTube page. And I will be putting a link up for that either later on this afternoon or tomorrow morning, most likely tomorrow morning. But then we have Saturday and Sunday. We're having the Sober St. Patrick's Day at the Churchill Irish Festival. McShin's going to have a setup there. And I'm not 100% sure what it's going to. From what I understand, we're going to have a bunch of McShin's swag. We're going to have, a tent and I think some couches.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
It's going to be pretty cool, though. We're going to be close to the music, going to be close to the food. if you show up, we're not going to be giving you any drinks or anything like that.
Some water.
Yeah, we'll get you some water. But come hang out. Come to our tent, say what's up. Some staff will be kind of making their way to and from the festival throughout the day. I'll be there from 10 a.m. until I think like 3. I'm going to have a camera on me, armed with a camera, shooting a bunch of footage. And that's going on Saturday and Sunday. McShin's got a ton of events coming up. We also have a golf tournament, which that's going to be cool. We are taking sponsorships for that as well. There's a whole bunch of different tiers of sponsorships that you can do. From $150 for a whole sponsor all the way up to I think 10,000 for
a whole round,
like the whole tournament or whatever.
But
yeah, so keep your eyes open and your ears open for all of McShin's events. And since the weather's nice now, we're going to be doing a lot of them. So but anyways, JP, thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me, Justin.
It's been a real pleasure. You got any closing thoughts or anything you want to say? Remember, one of our biggest audiences is those experiencing incarceration, as Nathan likes to say.
Well, hey, look, for anyone watching this on a tablet, incarcerated, I've just left where you were at, and I know it can seem absolutely hopeless while you're in there laying on that thin little mat. Hungry, detoxing. I've been there more than once, multiple times. Look into some of these programs. If not McShin, look into something like that. I was just telling Justin the last time I got out before this, I wasn't out a day and I OD'd. Not a day. It's too hard to do it by yourself. So if you're sitting there watching this on a tablet, really think about, I know no one wants to stay away from home longer than you already have, but this is life or death. This is your life, so just think about that and, stay hopeful, stay up. And that's it.
Awesome. That was a nice hope shot there. That was a really good hope shot, actually. Yeah. So that's going to be it for today, I think. And thank the 3 or 4 people that were watching us live. But yeah, again, JP, thanks for being on.
Thanks for having me. It was an absolute blast.
We will see all y'all on Tuesday. Let's see.
Take care.
Next Tuesday, the 29th, we have Jason Rudine. He's going to be remoting in with us. So, yeah, look forward to that and see you guys later.